hope for the future. The wind, a mournful dirge, continued its assault on the crumbling cathedral, but within its hallowed walls, a different kind of music played, a quiet symphony of hope. Sarah, her face etched with the weariness of countless sleepless nights, yet radiant with an inner peace, addressed the small congregation. The flickering candlelight danced in her eyes, reflecting the unwavering faith that burned within her soul. "We have witnessed devastation," she began, her voice carrying a strength that belied her physical frailty. "We have seen the world crumble around us, felt the chilling breath of despair on our necks. We have lost loved ones, homes, and everything we once held dear. Yet, even amidst the ashes, the embers of hope remain, glowing brightly, fueled by the unwavering love of our God." She paused, allowing her words to settle, to sink into the hearts of those gathered. Each face was a testament to their shared ordeal, etched with grief, marked by hardship, yet bearing the unmistakable imprint of faith that had carried them through the darkness. Their eyes, though weary, held a spark of resilience, a quiet determination to forge ahead. "Our journey has been arduous," Sarah continued, her voice gaining strength with each spoken word. "But it is not over. The path ahead may seem daunting, fraught with uncertainty, but we are not alone. We have each other, bound together by a faith that transcends the boundaries of this broken world. We have the unwavering promise of God's love, a promise etched in stone, sealed with His blood, and confirmed through the resurrection of His Son." She opened her well-worn Bible, the pages smooth with years of use, a testament to countless hours spent in prayer and meditation. The faint scent of old paper and leather filled the air, a comforting aroma in the midst of their desolate surroundings. She read from Isaiah 40 verse 31, her voice resonating with conviction. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." The words hung in the air, a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. Each person present felt the weight of these words settle upon their hearts, a balm to their weary souls. The passage resonated deeply, echoing the strength they had unexpectedly discovered within themselves. They had endured, not through their own strength, but through the grace and power of God that had sustained them throughout their trials. Sarah closed the Bible, her gaze sweeping across the assembled group. She saw not victims of an apocalypse, but survivors, warriors of faith, who had been refined in the crucible of suffering. Their faces bore the marks of hardship, yet their eyes shone with a light that could not be extinguished, the unwavering light of faith, hope, and love. "The rebuilding will be difficult," Sarah acknowledged, her voice filled with a quiet determination. "The challenges ahead will test our resolve, push us to our limits. But we will face them not with fear, but with faith. We will rebuild our communities, not with our own hands alone, but with God's guidance and strength. We will plant seeds of hope, nurture them with prayer, and watch them blossom into a new world, a world built on the foundation of faith, justice, and love." She spoke of forgiveness, of extending grace even to those who had caused them harm. She spoke of the importance of compassion, of reaching out to those in need, of bearing one another's burdens, of living lives that reflected the love of Christ. It wasn't simply a matter of physical survival, it was a call to spiritual renewal, a challenge to build a world that reflected God's kingdom on earth. One by one, those gathered shared their own testimonies, their voices filled with both sorrow and hope. They spoke of the losses they had endured, the moments of doubt, and the miraculous interventions of God that had sustained them. Their stories were raw, honest, and deeply moving, testaments to the unwavering power of faith in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. A young woman, Emily, spoke of finding solace in prayer amidst the chaos, of feeling God's presence even in the darkest moments. An elderly man, Daniel, shared his story of forgiveness, how he had found the strength to let go of his anger and bitterness, embracing God's love that had shown him the path to reconciliation. Their stories woven together a tapestry of faith, resilience, and unwavering hope. Each shared experience served as a testament to the transformative power of God's grace and love, a reminder that even in the most dire circumstances, hope could take root and flourish. The night wore on, the flickering candlelight casting long shadows across the walls of the old cathedral. Yet, the atmosphere was not one of despair or hopelessness. Instead, it was filled with a quiet strength, a sense of community, a shared determination to rebuild their lives, their world, and their faith on a new, unshakable foundation. As the first rays of dawn pierced through the broken stained glass windows, casting a soft, ethereal glow upon the assembly, Sarah offered a final prayer. It was a prayer of thanksgiving, of hope, and of unwavering faith in the promises of God. It was a prayer for strength, for guidance, and for the courage to face whatever lay ahead. Their journey was far from over. The path ahead would be long and arduous, filled with challenges and uncertainties. But they were not walking it alone. They had each other, their faith, and the unwavering love of God. They had survived the apocalypse, not only physically but spiritually, emerging stronger, more resilient, and more deeply committed to their faith. The wind still howled outside, a reminder of the destruction they had witnessed. But within the old cathedral, a new wind was blowing, a gentle breeze of hope, carrying with it the promise of a new beginning, a new world, a world reborn in the image of God. Their faith, refined in the fires of tribulation, had emerged stronger and brighter than ever before. It was a testament to the enduring power of God's love, a beacon of hope in a world desperately in need of His grace. They would carry this light forward, a shining testament to His boundless love, a living example of faith in the face of adversity. Their future was not guaranteed. It was a promise that needed tending, a seed of hope that required nurturing. But with God as their guide, with their faith as their compass, and with each other as their support, they were ready to face whatever lay ahead, confident that God's love would see them through. The wind may howl, the storms may rage, but their faith in God, unshaken, remained their anchor in the tempestuous seas of life. Their story was one of survival, yes, but more importantly, it was a testament to the enduring power of faith, a testament to the unfailing love of God, and a beacon of hope for a world yearning for redemption. They were not simply survivors. They were witnesses, living embodiments of God's grace and love in a world desperately needing a reminder of His enduring presence. And as the sun rose, casting its golden light upon the ruins of their world, they stepped forward, filled with the unwavering hope of a brighter future, guided by the hand of their sovereign God. Lessons learned. The dust motes danced in the weak sunlight filtering through the shattered stained glass windows of the cathedral. Sarah, her voice hoarse but resolute, continued her quiet sermon, her words weaving a tapestry of resilience and faith. The small congregation, a handful of souls salvaged from the ashes of the apocalypse, listened intently, their faces reflecting a mixture of sorrow, gratitude, and an almost palpable hope. They had witnessed horrors beyond comprehension, faced death countless times, and yet, here they were, clinging to the promise of a new beginning. This wasn't merely survival, it was a profound transformation. The apocalypse had stripped away the superficial, revealing the raw, unfiltered essence of humanity. It had shown them the darkness that lurked in the hearts of men, but, more importantly, it had revealed the unwavering light of God's grace that shone even in the deepest despair. Their lessons were etched not just in their minds, but in the very fabric of their being. Scars that bore testament to their journey, reminders of the strength found in faith. Michael, once a hardened soldier consumed by the need for self-preservation, had discovered a different kind of strength, a strength born not of aggression but of compassion. The apocalypse had forced him to confront his own selfishness, his reliance on brute force. He had witnessed the power of forgiveness, both giving and receiving, and had learned that true strength lay not in weaponry, but in the unwavering love of God. He had learned to trust, not just in his own abilities, but in the divine providence that guided their every step. The fear that had once gripped him, paralyzing him with indecision, was now replaced by a quiet courage, fueled by his newfound faith. He no longer saw enemies, but lost souls, each one a potential vessel for God's grace. His rifle, once a symbol of aggression, now felt heavy and unnecessary, a relic of his former self. He saw the beauty of creation even in destruction. Esther, the young girl who had lost everything, her family, her home, her innocence, had found a strength she never knew she possessed. The trauma she had endured had been immense, yet her faith, nurtured by Sarah's unwavering belief, had become her anchor. She had learned the power of resilience, the ability to rise from the depths of despair, to find joy even in the midst of suffering. She had learned the importance of forgiveness, not just for others, but for herself. She had carried the burden of guilt, believing herself responsible for the loss of her family. However, through prayer and Sarah's guidance, she found solace in the knowledge that her faith was not diminished by her pain, but deepened by it. She understood that God's love was not conditional but unconditional, embracing her brokenness and mending her heart. Now, her laughter echoed through the ruins of the old cathedral, filling the space with a childlike joy that was both innocent and profoundly moving. John, the former businessman, driven by ambition and the relentless pursuit of material wealth, had been forced to confront the futility of his past life. The apocalypse had stripped him bare, exposing the hollowness of his materialistic pursuits. He had learned that true riches lie not in worldly possessions but in faith, in love, and in the bonds of community. His once sharp eyes, clouded by greed, now reflected a gentle kindness, the result of a complete transformation of his character. His experiences had taught him the true meaning of humility. He now dedicated his time to sharing his knowledge and skills, teaching others valuable skills that would help them rebuild their lives. He understood that the most valuable asset they had was their faith and unity. David, a skeptic before the apocalypse, had found God amidst the chaos. He had witnessed miracles, experienced the tangible presence of the divine, and had his doubts shattered by the sheer resilience of the human spirit fueled by an unwavering faith. His cynicism had been replaced by awe, a profound respect for the power of faith and the strength it instilled in the face of overwhelming odds. He had seen how the community, bound together by their shared faith, had overcome their differences and worked collectively to rebuild their lives. This newfound faith made his life more meaningful, filled with a purpose that went beyond his own survival. His previous scientific approach now worked hand in hand with his faith. His observations of the world reinforced his belief in a divine plan. Their journey had been marked by loss, suffering, and unimaginable hardship. Yet, amidst the ruins, they had found something far more precious, a renewed sense of purpose, a deepened understanding of God's love, and an unbreakable bond of fellowship. They had learned that faith was not a passive acceptance of fate, but an active engagement with life, a relentless pursuit of hope even in the darkest of times. It was a testament to the power of the human spirit, fueled by the unwavering grace of God. Their lessons were not confined to the individuals, they extended to the community as a whole. They had learned the importance of unity, of working together for a common goal, of supporting each other in times of need. The apocalypse, in its devastating brutality, had forged an unbreakable bond between them. They discovered strength in numbers, realizing that their collective faith was far greater than the sum of their individual beliefs. They had shared their burdens, their fears, their hopes, and in doing so, they had become more than just survivors. They had become a family. They had learned to trust each other implicitly. Their collaboration transcended their differences. Their individual skills complemented each other, creating a more efficient and effective community. The shared experience had deepened their understanding of forgiveness. They had witnessed acts of unspeakable cruelty, yet they chose to forgive, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Forgiveness was not about condoning the acts of evil, but about releasing the burden of anger and resentment, allowing themselves to heal and move forward. They had learned that holding on to anger and bitterness only prolonged their suffering. Forgiveness became a pathway towards healing and reconciliation. Through prayer and reflection, they had learned the importance of humility. They had humbled themselves before God, acknowledging their own limitations and recognizing the power of a force greater than themselves. Humility allowed them to see each other's strengths and value each other's contributions. Each member, regardless of their background or skills, played a vital role in the community. Their mutual respect created a harmonious atmosphere that encouraged growth and progress. Their faith, tested and refined by the crucible of the apocalypse, had emerged stronger, purer, more unwavering than ever before. It was a faith that transcended the confines of religious dogma, becoming a living, breathing testament to the enduring power of God's love. They had found solace in the scriptures, finding guidance and comfort in the words of wisdom that had endured through generations. Their faith had provided them with strength during moments of despair and given them hope when all seemed lost. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the ravaged landscape, the small congregation knelt in prayer, their voices a chorus of gratitude and hope. They were not merely survivors. They were witnesses, living embodiments of God's grace, a beacon of hope in a world desperately yearning for redemption. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident that God's love would see them through. Their faith, tempered by the fires of adversity, a radiant testament to the enduring power of belief. Their story, a testament to unwavering faith in the face of insurmountable odds, would become a legend, a source of strength for generations to come, an enduring reminder of the transformative power of grace and hope. The wind might howl, the storms might rage, but their faith, anchored in God's unwavering love, would remain their steadfast guide. Their future remained uncertain, but their faith remained firm. The seeds of hope, planted in the ruins, were watered by faith and determination, promising a harvest of resilience and love. They had faced the apocalypse, not as victims, but as victors, their hearts brimming with the grace of God, ready to build a new world on the foundations of faith, love, and hope. The world was broken, but their spirits remained unbroken. They were ready